Hi everyone, I'm Torzi and welcome to this 30-minute yoga sequence with Runna. We're going to start on our backs today, so just meet me in a supine position on your mat, just coming down to the earth. And you're going to draw the soles of your feet to the width of your yoga mat here. Just gently let the knees fall in on one another. And then you can just place your hands on your belly or face them up by your sides. And just starting to check in with your breath and body here. Noticing how you feel as you inhale and as you exhale. If your hands are resting on the belly here, maybe noticing the belly rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. And in our starting pose here, just taking the opportunity to scan through the body. So you can start this body scan at the top of the head. And just working your way down all the way to the feet. Noticing how you feel physically as a whole, but also noticing those spaces that feel particularly tight or tense today. And as we move through our class, we will focus on giving everything a good stretch out, full body focus today. Okay, let's take a final deep breath in our starting pose. Before gently opening those eyes and preparing to get moving here. We're going to hug both of our knees to our chest, just taking a little gentle rock from side to side. And then we're going to hug the right knee to the chest, interlacing our fingers around the knee, extending that left leg forward in front of you and just letting that leg lie heavy on the earth there. Just take some rotations through your right hip and through your right ankle. We're then going to extend our right fingertips out towards our side, making sure that you're grounding through the upper back, the shoulder blades here. And then we're going to draw the right knee off towards the left side. So we're finding our first posture here to be a torso twist. Really lovely warm-up posture for the spine. We're also stretching into our right glutes. And that draws all the way down through the IT band, outer thigh towards the outer knee there as well. So it's a really great pose to get us started today. Finding that opening through the chest. Okay, let's come back through center, drawing the left knee to meet the right. And then extending that right leg forward in front of you, letting it lie heavy and just taking those rotations through the left hip this time, through the left ankle. Okay, extending left fingertips out towards your side, rooting through the upper back, and then gently encouraging that left knee off towards the right side. Now, you might hear a little bit of clicking, cracking through the spine here. As long as it's painless, it's completely okay. Just your spine finding some realignment there. Releasing tension from the back body, glutes, outer hip. And just taking some really nice deep full breaths in this first posture, spinal twist. Great job. Taking your final deep breath on this side. And then coming back through center. Hug both your knees to your chest here. And then you're going to interlace your fingers behind your knees. You're going to start rocking and rolling up and down the spine. Just warming things up a little bit here, massaging the back body. And then on your next rock, coming all the way up to seated, you're going to cross your ankles in front of you here, so meeting me in a cross-leg position towards the top of your mat. Just take a moment to lengthen the spine, lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then pull them back and down. And then together we're going to breathe in, lift the fingertips tall, reaching for the ceiling. As you exhale, take a twist towards your right side. So guiding your right fingertips behind you, left fingertips towards your right knee. And just looking over your shoulder here. So taking our twist up from the ground into our seated position here. Really nice. Okay, we're going to lift our right fingertips from behind us, follow them overhead with the gaze, and draw them towards your opposite knee. So guiding your right hand towards your left knee here, you're going to welcome a cross of your arms in front of you. Just draw your chin down to your chest here, and feel that release through the upper back. Should feel pretty nice here. Really great one if we've been sitting at our desks today, just to give everything a good stretch out, drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another. Okay, lifting the gaze forwards. We're going to guide our hands towards opposite shoulders now. So drawing right hand to left shoulder, and left hand to right shoulder. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale to release those arms. Inhaling to flip the palms, circle sweep the arms up above you. And then exhale to take your twist to the other side. So left fingertips behind you here. Right fingertips towards your left knee. And just looking over your shoulder towards the back of your mat. Keeping the spine nice and long here. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Great job. Let's reach those left fingertips up overhead, following them with the gaze, and then drawing them towards our opposite knee. So again, finding a cross of the arms here in front of you. Again, just another opportunity to draw the chin down to your chest and release those shoulder blades. When we feel tight through the upper body, the shoulder blades will always want to hunch together. So we're encouraging that opposite movement here, that counter pose. Let's lift the hands up from the knees now, drawing our hands towards opposite shoulders, giving ourselves a nice hug here. Inhaling together. And exhaling to release. Breathe in, flip the palms, circle sweep the arms up above you. And this time as you exhale, you're going to come forward over your knees. And you're going to make your way into a tabletop. So just shifting yourself back on your mat a little bit here. Palms of the hands resting under your shoulders, knees resting underneath your hips. Once you're here with me, taking a breath in to lower the belly, tilt the tailbone up, shine the heart forwards for your cow pose. As you exhale, push down through the palms, draw the tailbone down, round your spine, chin to chest, cat pose. Inhale for your cow pose. And exhale for your cat pose. Inhale for your cow. And exhale for your cats. Really good. Coming back to that level tabletop position. We're going to take an opportunity here to warm up the core a little, get things a little bit more active and energized. So we're going to tuck into our toes here. We're going to make our way into a bear pose plank. So palms of the hands are staying under shoulders here. We're going to lift the knees up from the earth, keeping the back really nice and flat here. So imagine you could balance a glass of water on your back. This posture is full body, so feeling the arms switch on, the legs switch on, really drawing the belly button up to the spine to engage through the abdominals there. Taking a breath in and exhaling to drop those knees. Keep the toes tucked here. You're going to take a breath in with me. And as you exhale, guide your hips back towards your heels, stretching into the soles of your feet there, the plantar fascia at the base of the feet. Really nice. Final deep breath in your foot stretch. And then drawing yourself forward back to that 4-point tabletop position. Just untuck the toes here, just take a moment to pat out through the feet. And then we're going to walk our hands forward in front of us on the mat. Nice wide spread of your fingertips here for a firm foundation. You're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up high, and meet me in our first downward facing dog today. So just taking a moment here to feel acquainted with this posture. You can take some little walks into the legs, bending one knee, straightening through the other. Palms of the hands, shoulder width distance, pads of the feet, about hip width distance. Lovely long spine here, so bend as much as you need into your knees to cultivate that length through the spine. Really good job. We're going to take a breath in here together to flow forward to a plank pose. So guide your shoulders over your wrists. Really lovely, strong plank position. Long line of energy from the crown of the head to the root of the feet. Take a breath in with me here. And then exhale to push things back for downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale for your plank, flowing forwards. Shoulders over wrists, strong position, active through the core, pushing away from the earth, breathe in. And exhale to breathe out as you push the hips back. Downward facing dog. Let's lift our gaze towards the tips of the fingers and start to nice and slowly walk the feet towards the wrists, meeting our feet hip width distance at the top of our yoga mat, softening into the knees here. You're going to encourage your chest towards the thighs, let the head fall forward, and then just gently sway things from side to side. We can take a ragdoll here, guiding hands to opposite elbows, really nice releasing variation of forward fold here, just letting things shake out from side to side. Amazing job. And together we're going to root our fingertips in front of the toes now. So bend through the knees as much as you need to be able to achieve this. Draw your chin to your chest. And then push firmly into both soles of your feet and start to lift the body up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, so just really taking your time here. Head's going to lift up last as you unroll through the spine, practicing that spinal flexion there. And you're meeting me at the top of the mat in this mountain pose. Just take a nice roll through the shoulders there. And then take a moment just to consider the feet. So finding a really nice firm foundation both between the feet and within each sole of the foot. So pushing down with the big toe knuckle and then guiding the outer edges of your feet to the earth too. Palms are going to face forward by your sides. Lovely long spine here. An opportunity just to feel that steadiness, that even weight between the feet throughout the body. And from here, we're going to warm our body with a couple of rounds of sun salutations. So we're going to guide our hands to prayer at heart center here. Take a lovely deep breath in to lift your prayer up above you. As you exhale, soften through the knees and fold forwards. Inhale for flat back, lengthening the spine. Exhale for forward folds. Root through the palms. Take a breath in to step the feet back for your plank position. Shoulders are over wrists. Take another breath in with me here. And as you exhale, drop down through the knees. Hug the triceps to your rib cage and lower your chest and chin down towards the earth. Untucking the toes and inhaling to push into the palms. Lift the heart for your cobra. As you exhale, you're going to guide your hips back towards your heels, lengthening through the spine in a child's pose. Lift your gaze up towards the hands, tuck through the toes, and lift the hips up high for downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, you're going to take a generous step with the left foot forward, followed by the right. Breathing in for your flat back, fingertips to shins, lengthen the back body. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rooting to rise, lifting all the way up. Nice big stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Amazing. We're going to take that one more time, maybe a little bit faster pace. Breathing in to lift your prayer and breathing out to fold forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, forward folds. Inhale to root the palms, step the feet back for your strong plank pose, pushing away from the earth. As you breathe out, drop the knees, hug the triceps to your rib cage, lower chest and chin down to the earth. Breathing in, cobra pose, pushing into the tops of the feet. Breathing out, downward facing dog, this time lifting the hips high. Look towards your hands, take a generous step with the left foot forwards, followed by that right foot. A breath in for a flat back, and a breath out for a forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, lift and lengthen. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Amazing, guys. We're going to take a quadricep stretch at the front of our mats now. Now, this is an opportunity to engage in a balance practice, but considering that we're focusing more on our stretch here, if you want to use a wall for support so you can just really focus on your stretch, then of course, please do find a wall or something like a chair you could hold on to. We're going to root down through the left foot here, making sure we've got a little soft bend through the left knee just to prevent locking through the joints. We're going to lift the right heel up towards the right glute. So guiding our hand around that right foot. And like I said, you can have something to hold on to here with the left hand, or you can use this opportunity to build a little bit of stability through the left foot, left ankle. So as you're guiding that right heel towards your glute, you're going to be feeling this sensation of stretch through the right quadricep. If you engage the glutes a little here and drive the hips ever so slightly forward, you're going to feel a little bit more stretch there as well. So obviously just taking this as far as is comfortable for you, but just giving the front of the leg a good old stretch here. Keeping things supple and strong for all those miles that we're logging together. Okay, fab job. Let's release that right foot down to the earth. Just give the hands and feet a little shake. And then coming onto the other side. So we're rooting firmly down through the right foot, little soft bend through the knee. Left heel towards left glutes. And again, if you need to find a wall or a chair, something you can hold onto for stability here, that is perfect. We're focusing primarily on that stretch through the left quadricep. But if you want to use this opportunity to practice that balancing on one leg, then you can use this as a balance practice as well. Remembering that if we engage a little through the glutes, drive the hips forward ever so slightly, we can probably generate a little bit more space through that left quad. Lovely stuff. Let's release the left foot down to the earth now, shaking things out. And then we're going to come into a wide leg fold. So I'm going to demonstrate this facing forward, but would recommend you come widthways on your mat like me. Toes are going to face outward here. Again, a little soft bend through the knees. Basically, we don't really ever want to be locking through the knee joint here. So just keeping things nice and safe, constructive. Hands coming to your hips, taking a breath in. And then as you exhale, folding forwards and guiding fingertips, hands towards the earth here. Wide leg fold. So this is encouraging release through the inner thigh, the adductors, but also that inner hamstring aspect as well. And I often just like to welcome a little sway from side to side in this wide leg fold, but obviously you're welcome to keep this static and still. Welcoming some mobility through the hips and pelvis here as well. Okay, centering ourselves here in our wide leg fold. We're going to guide our hands towards our right shin or ankle, just welcoming a little side stretch here, a little space through the sides of the lower back. Great, and then coming back through center, off towards the other side. Keeping those inhales and exhales nice and deep here. Great stuff. Let's come back through center, drawing the fingertips forward in front of us. Bend a little bit more generously into the knees here. Engage through the core as you guide your hands back up to your hips. And then with control, lifting yourself back up for that star pose as we reach the arms out. Really nice. Take a breath in here. And then exhale, palms resting by our sides. Amazing. We're going to come back to the top of our mat now. Meeting me here, mountain pose, top of the mat. And then breathing in, circle swoop the arms, lift the fingertips to the sky. And then exhale to fold it down. Inhale for flat back. Exhale for forward folds. We're going to breathe in to step our feet back for that strong plank pose. And then as you exhale, draw the hips back for your downward facing dog. We're now going to lift our gaze towards our hands. We're going to step our right foot between our hands, dropping down through the back knee and untucking the toes, pushing firmly down through the right foot here. Right knee should be stacked and aligned over right ankle as we lift the arms up and we welcome our low crescent lunge, one of my favorite postures. Tucking through the tailbone here, really encouraging space to be generated through the left hip crease, that left psoas muscle. It's hip flexor muscle which attaches at the base of the abdominal wall and guides down into the quadriceps, a really important muscle group as we're running. So giving that a good stretch, good release. Brilliant, take a breath in. And as you exhale, gently starting to peel those hip creases back, finding some length through the right leg and dropping the fingertips down to rest underneath the shoulders. This is our half split or runner's lunge, and it's also a counter pose, releasing off through the hip and then instead focusing here on the right hamstring. Bend as generously as you need into that right leg in this posture as well. As long as you're feeling a little bit of a release through that back of your right leg. Great job. Take a breath in with me here. Exhale to hinge yourself forward, so right knee stacks over right ankle again. Root down through your palms nice and firmly. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then gently make your way back to your downward facing dog, lifting the hips nice and high. Okay, coming onto the other side, lift your gaze to your hands. Step the left foot forward between the tips of the fingers. Drop the back knee down, untuck those toes. Check your alignment here, left knee stacks over left ankle. As you lift through the torso and lift through the arms. Again, tucking the tailbone underneath you here, so making sure that the bum isn't kind of sticking out here. We're tucking through the pelvis, and we're feeling that release through the right hip flexor. As we sit throughout the day, hip flexors can get really tight, so we're offering a counter pose here for that seated position that we often take throughout the day. Active energy through the fingertips, shoulders away from the ears, doing great. Okay, let's breathe in here. And as we exhale, gently starting to peel those hip creases back, easing off the right hip. But encouraging some length through the left leg there. Again, soft bend is encouraged. Keeping things constructive and safe. Fingertips resting under shoulders for half split or runner's lunge here. Encouraging the building of flexibility through our hamstrings. Really nice. Taking a final deep breath in this posture. And then we're going to gently guide the left knee back over the left ankle, rooting firmly through your palms, either side of that left foot. Tuck through the back toes and lift through the back knee. And then guide those feet to meet in downward facing dog behind you, hips lifting up towards the ceiling above you. Amazing job, everyone. Let's drop down through the knees. Walk ourselves on all fours towards the top of our mats, and then draw our hips back to our heels. We're going to shift our hips off to the right, toes off to the left. And then we're going to make our way all the way down to our backs. Offering space to restore and relax here in a final posture, corpse pose. So extending those legs forward in front of you, hands can rest on the belly like at the start of our practice, or they can face up by your sides. And just taking the final few minutes of our yoga for runners sequence here to disengage through the body, letting the face, jaw, belly relax. And just an opportunity here to integrate all the constructive movements we've come through in the last 30 minutes together. As we take our final few deep breaths in corpse pose, just starting to wiggle through the fingers and the toes, preparing to guide the knees up towards your chest. Gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling off to your right side here, welcoming a brief fetal position from which we can lift ourselves up to a final seated pose to end our sequence together. Preferably finding a posture here in which you can lengthen the spine, lift through the crown of the head, and then taking a lovely deep breath in, sweep the palms up to meet above the head, and then exhaling to guide your hands to your heart center. Just taking a moment here to thank yourself for dedicating this time for your yoga practice, and I really hope that you enjoyed this sequence.